Sasquatch, Yahoo, Phantom of the Forest, you Spearfinger, Fire Dragon, Ohio Grassman, Silver Giant, Bloodless Howler, West Virginia Vampire, Coyote King, Hogzilla, Devil, Dark Coyote Killer. Cave creature, Mothman, Smoke Wolf, a Lizard Demon, Ashman, Grafton Monster, Cow-killing Bastard, Shadow Creature, Dustman, Cherokee, Death Cat, Wild Man, Great Fire Rape. What else do I have to say? Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet. Snallygaster, Rogue Team, Red Island Bear Beast, Silver Giant, Squalling Savage, Black Wolf was kind of average, Stone Giant, Raven Mocker, Midnight Whistler, Wampus Beast, Wawa Woman, Ohio Grassman again. Technically Huckleberry, Wolfman, or Wolf County, need to find the X again if we hunt the Lightning Man. Webster's Werewolf, Daily Howl, Kentucky Hellhound, Little Girl, Headless Horror, I can't take it anymore. Steal yourself some chicken wire, and I'll get some lumber. Catch the Thunder Brothers. Don't you dare get out of the golf cart. We can keep our big seats while we hunt the big feet.
This is Big Feets, the only Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast. I'm Robert Brockway, and frankly, I'm starting to get a little pissed off at you guys that you haven't solved the puzzle I've been hiding in all of my intros.
And I'm Sean Baby.
I was a former world champion, a professional martial artist, only a few years past my prime, when I was considered by many the fastest human alive. World renowned for my explosive speed, I could snatch a quarter out of an open palm and substitute a penny without the switch being noticed. When I was 19, the Chinese, my biggest fans, had nicknamed me Fa Ma after the flying horse that brings both peace and war, a tribute to the poise, endurance, and confidence I exuded in no-holds-barred illegal human cockfights, the martial arts legendary Kumite tournaments. Many years later, in 1987, my martial arts prowess would be the subject for the motion picture Bloodsport, and in April 1993, I became the first person on record to break bulletproof glass with a blow from my bare hand.
And I am award-winning author Jason Pargin.
I could talk about that passage you just read for like 3 episodes of a podcast.
I don't see why we shouldn't.
All right, first of all, if you call it a human cockfight, it changes meaning real drastically. Real drastically. And second of all, is it 24 cents profit every time you do it? Is like that how you is that how you make your money?
It makes his money.
Oh, God damn it, the Duke's Cast. As the show we're here to talk about, this is a Mountain Monsters watch-along podcast, devolves into less and less of a show, I'm so much more interested in the Duke's Cast, even as I have so much fun watching this disaster, but the Duke's Cast is just more together at this point. It's just a more coherent story, which I never thought I would say.
It could be put together with what we've got on tape already.
No.
With
Because
Jamie and 70, 80 hours of editing could put together those excerpts.
No, absolutely not, because it's Sean, for the sake of this podcast, Sean reads something, and then we talk about it for only like 12 minutes each time. It could be an hour. Every single time he says like a paragraph, like, all right, we need to talk about every part of that paragraph. We now need to deconstruct the phrasing. Like, seriously, human cockfighting though? Like, you're the flying horse of China? What?
War and peace.
You bring what? They don't love it when you bring the war. Anyway, that's somehow not what this podcast is about. This is a Mountain Monsters Watch Along podcast. Before we get into it, of course, where can we find more from you, Jason?
I am a social media influencer. I'm Jason K. Pargin on all of the video sharing sites. I make very short videos, and that is mostly how I make my living now.
How many followers do you have now?
1.3 million across TikTok, Facebook, my other Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, Substack, Instagram.
That's too many. That's too much influence.
So many.
Okay, Sean.
I log into Blue Sky a couple times a day, and you can find me at 1-900-HOTDOG.com.
I have deleted Blue Sky and Instagram and all social media, which is terrible because I have to plug my upcoming book. I have to. You might remember I was doing a cute little bit where I refused to plug my book because there's a clause in the contract that said I have to when I was being cute and stubborn and rebellious and in a cute way. Cute's the key word here. You know who didn't think it was cute? The law. The law did not find that cute. So my upcoming book is called I Will Kill Your Imaginary Friend for $200. It's available for pre-order wherever you get books, and you have to do it. I would love to be here. Like it's so important to pre-order books to support the authors you love. No, if you don't buy it, I'm going to prison. Keep me out of fucking prison. Keep me out of prison. It's in your best interest to keep me out of prison because I want you to picture something. I want you to picture like the scene in a mobster movie where like Robert De Niro, whoever, is like, he's getting arrested and he's like, oh, you'll never make me talk. I want you to picture that. Now picture me in that scene. It doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work, does it? Now picture another scene. Bear with me here. The zombie movie, right? You're in a zombie movie and there's a guy, he gets bit and he hides it from the rest of the group and you're like, why is he hiding the zombie bite? He knows he's going to die. It doesn't even make any sense. He's just going to take everyone down with him. Now picture me in that scene.
Yeah, that works.
Real easy. It's real easy. That's all I'm saying. Buy my book. Buy my book if you like this podcast.
And to give everyone an idea of how considerate Brockway is, my next book comes out next year in the fall. His comes out in January. Is that correct, Robert? Relevant piece of information that I don't think you mentioned. So his book will be out right before the pre-orders for John Dies at the End 5 go up. So there's no overlap. We don't have to fight. There's not a thing.
We're still going to fight. We don't have to. It's nice that you pointed out that we don't have to. Buy my book instead of Jason's. If you're thinking like, okay, I have enough money to buy both books, buy my book twice and don't buy Jason's. I'm going to jail. They don't let you do podcasts from jail. They made fun of me for asking that.
See, you say that, but Andrew Tate was uninterrupted in his media empire, even though going to prison for human trafficking several times. I don't think he skipped a single episode. So
yeah, Romanian jail is way better than American jail. American jail is like the worst kind of jail. And that's the one I'm going to. It's got alligators in it. It's fucked up now. It's fucked up what's happening.
But when they hear you're there for violating book promotional contracts, you'll get their respect.
They're not impressed
King
by
of
that.
the yard.
I took like I just took a vibe check. I went down to the jail, just took a vibe check. Like, what do you guys think about people who are in for not promoting your books? Was not positive. It was not a positive result. I wouldn't say.
What if I posted a YouTube video called "The Secret of the Little Girl" as the last thing before I went to prison? Is that a problem?
Buy my book, God damn it. God damn you all to hell, buy my book, or it all ends. All right. Today, we're still going for now. We're still going for now because I don't have those sales numbers back yet. We're still a Mountain Monsters Watch Along podcast, and today we're watching The Blood Skull and The Woman of the Woods. I'm just going to stop giving the episode numbers. It's too confusing to explain that there's no particular agreed-upon episode order from platform to platform, and it's disappearing off of some of those platforms. I saw the demerger had gone through for now it's not HBO and Discovery anymore. I don't know what the fuck is going to happen.
It took like a minute 20 for me to find the icon on my Google Chrome to get to my HBO Max because it's now just like a little titty. And I'm like, well, that must be a titty website. I'm trying to work. There's no time for that.
To be perfectly serious, this is the finale of the Dark Forest arc that's been going on for 8 episodes. So it's that special occasion by itself, but also it was the final episode of season 4 in the HBO Max order, but the final of season 3 rather, the HBO Max order. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, see?
In season 5 of the original airing order, the final episode before they would move to the Travel Channel from Destination America, where they would get a much higher budget. And you guys think I'm joking, The next episode we're going to do, it will be season 4, episode 1 on HBO Max. It would have been season 6 at HBO, season 6, episode 1 when it aired. Looks like a completely different show. I am dead serious. They have stunts. They have like an effects budget. They have a better camera. They do comedy bits that were clearly written by writers. Like it's not something they just made up. It changes in a way that we may not like. Yeah. Which is ironic considering the current state of the Ames team and their current venture, which we will get to in the next episode of Big Feats. But this is the last episode before the show would hit the big time and these guys would start to have even bigger truck money.
Oh, their taste of fame just boots up to his neck on Wild Bill.
I think this is the beginning of the split. I think it starts with when that serious money and the serious fame starts to come in.
This is the first commercial break in the Behind the Music special.
That's right.
But all was not okay. So we're...
Wild Bill stopped doing meth.
It wasn't the same. He spent all of his meth money on a slutty, perfectly accurate, movie accurate Catwoman suit from Batman Returns, just laced up. Like it's the only way he was comfortable. The big thing with this being the season finale, as Jason said, of their first continuous arc, is that we now have to do, every single time, we have to do a previously on Mountain Monsters. So, previously on Mountain Monsters, in their recap, they show the Rogue Team Puzzle Master with this. He's wearing a skull mask, and he says to Buck in his modulated voice, "Sit down!" And Buck says, "I'm sitting!" And then he sits right down. That's our hero. That's his hero moment. I love that they include that as like, there's no information. There's no information relayed in that scene. It's just to be like, look at
They call back to that scene though. I don't want to spoil anything, but Buck does whatever this guy says at all times.
So, previously on, the narrator reminds us that the Ames team came here originally. Their original mission was to capture the Woman of the Woods and trade her in like a hostage swap for the carcass of the Stonish Giant at this point, which they want for gotta be unhealthy reasons. Like I don't imagine it's like for science or to prove it or whatever this deep into the show. Let's see what else happens. Jeff tearfully admits to Buck that he can't make a little girl come. His words. I'm not implying anything. Buck says, "Don't worry, she came for me." His words. That's what happens in the show. It's what happens in the show. It would happen in the episode called "The Secret of the Little Girl." That's what they called their show. It has nothing to do with me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. I'm just relaying information here. They're in a place called the Dark Forest, a place which doesn't exist. It's just somebody's backyard. We've established that. They showed up to a farmer's house at the start of this, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, this is all just like farmer's properties." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, this is the Dark Forest." "No, this is my yard. We don't call my yard the Dark Forest. I'm sorry." It contains a shape-shifting Bigfoot. It contains the wolf form of the Indian Grim Reaper, who is here to steal Jeff's soul. He may have died off screen. We're not totally sure. It contains the Predator from the hit film Predator, the Predator from Predator, who seems to have just quietly left the story after they started doing little girl stuff. Like, he saw The Secret of the Little Girl and was like, I'm like having a big revival moment with Hulu. I don't need to be a part of this right now. Just gonna duck out the back.
He already gets some bad SEO on his name.
Yeah.
He's like,
I don't need to be associated with The Secret of the Little Girl and the Predator. Not what I'm going for. There is a little girl. There's a little, maybe a ghost little girl. There's a Blair Witch. There's at least one rogue Bigfoot hunting team. Although, to be quite frank, I've lost track. of how many and which ones are involved. Maybe there's just one. I don't.
I think we landed on 4, but yeah, I don't remember. It's not really important to remember. I mean, I appreciate the recap, but they don't remember, so I'm not sure why the audience should bother.
And so when we last left off, the important thing to remember is that whole rogue team was being held at bay by Willie and Wild Bill, who cut down a log across the only road and lit it on fire. And it just never occurred to the rogue team to drive around it. Like, it wasn't on a bridge or anything. They could just drive around it. And meanwhile, Jeff was being haunted by both a witch and his own social anxiety because he was doing a Departed. He was doing the Departed, trying to infiltrate the rogue team. But it turns out he was not very popular, and he lied to his friends about how cool he was. And he had a makeover. We did a makeover scene. That was cool too. Buck just straight up stole that storyline from him. He just took it. Like 2 episodes ago, he just said, it's mine now. And now Jeff has to watch from the cuck chair as he just takes his whole story from him. And when we last left Buck, he had showed up late to a wedding and walked through their leftover grapevine rings, which was the process to summon the ghost of the little girl. And he does remind us that they look pretty cool. And he went, she's here. And we saw like the horror shot of the little girl at the end of the rings. And now we're current. That's where we are.
So this is not an extra long episode. It's the finale is the normal 38 minutes if you take out all the sizzle reel and stuff. So in this normal length episode, we've got to discover who's the little girl and what does she have to do with any of this? What are those magical 3 rings of the North? Is the Black Wolf dead? And what are the implications of that? Is Jeff still going to die? Is Jeff still possessed by the woman of the woods? Remember, he was possessed. He acted bitchy. They didn't cure him of that, did they? As you said, will they capture the woman of the woods to turn her over to the rogue team so they can get the carcass of the Stonish giant? What is the fate of the Ravenmocker? The shape-shifting that brought them there. What is the nature of the 4th rogue team, a.k.a. the thing Jeff has been trying to figure out for the last 7 episodes? He's been undercover with these guys. And then you didn't mention, what's at those coordinates?
There's the coordinates.
So they'll get to that. And then finally, as you said, what is the fate of the Predator from the hit film Predator? Which it's almost like once Huckleberry improvised that, the rest of the guys tried to move on as fast as possible and keep hoping he will not bring it up again. Because he brought it up twice. No one else has brought it up even once, even to ask him about it.
Like maybe
Didn't he get in
editing,
a knife fight with it, and then they came in, he was covered in blood, and he said, it knows we're here?
And then he made them build an electric fence specifically to keep the Predator out. And then he noticed a trail of blood out by a tree and said, it was out here watching us. And that was the last we heard of it. They did not say, oh, you know what? It's dead. It's dead out there.
We saw a spaceship leave.
Yeah.
There's a thing I wanted to bring up real quick is that at no point have their mission here is to catch the woman of the woods. There has never been a single word about how they might do that. Like they have some traps for the Predator
don't know what
to
she
keep
is.
it out. But yeah, like they haven't seen Ghostbusters, so they have no idea like that you need to put a ghost in like a little box or anything. Or if they think that, they haven't made steps to prepare.
They don't know she's a ghost. They don't know if she's a ghost, a witch, just like a lost old woman. She could be,
but they didn't bring like handcuffs.
Sundowning?
Like, that could have been a fun gag. Huckleberry could pull out some furry handcuffs that he and his wife use. And you're like, I know these work on ladies, and then everyone could laugh.
See, here's the thing: is they have fought the woman of the woods before, and they did it with the power of political incorrectness by putting on some very offensive Native American costumes that they got from a gift shop and performed a ritual where they smoked, quote, old tobacco in a couple of makeshift huts. And that was the ritual for breaking the curse of the woman of the woods. And the result of that was she cursed Jeff to die and then walked away. So it was kind of, I guess, ambiguous as to whether or not they had defeated her.
We'll call that one a draw.
If you're going to, if you're going
For
to
the
try
Ames
to,
team, that's pretty good.
to catch her or bind her, because again, they do still have a trap out for the Black Wolf. They did not mention disassembling that. Could it double as a trap for the Woman of the Woods? Just put some different bait in there.
They got a canvas maze, a simple Denny's placemat maze made out of canvas with a couple of snares in it. That'll
Couple of
catch a
snares.
sundowning old woman for sure.
I realize we're like 22 minutes in and we've not started the episode yet. It's difficult to recap something when it is a completely improvised show where they did not remember from episode to episode what they did, so they just keep making new stuff.
But all of that, this is their very first season where they're telling one story from one episode to the end of the season. So this is it. This is where they got to wrap up. All of those storylines are going to weave together effortlessly into one final super climax.
Because they're going to go off the air for 26 months from June 2017 till late August 2019 after this episode. So it's all's got to be tied up. So it's
you don't
gonna
end
be
that
a
on some
mile a
bullshit.
minute.
Yeah, you don't end that on some bullshit and then come back 26 months later with like a huge reward, with like a huge bonus. So they must have fucking nailed the shit out of this episode. I don't know. We're watching it right now. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna let you know what happens. Hit like and subscribe. No, I don't know. I don't know where any of that stuff goes. Yeah, they must have nailed the shit out of it to come back and have that, like, that really bodes really well. To have that, like, higher budget, more recognition, better network. Like, you can't just end on some bullshit, then 26 months later come back to a huge reward. So that's good. That bodes really well. Anyway, like, now that we're back in the episode, the first thing that happens is Buck sees some headlights and he dives into the leaves. If you're playing the drinking game at home, you've already got to kill a drink. That's already one. You're already one in. The very first thing he does. And he does not go far. He's in the center of this like venue with these rings. And you see him hold the camera. He runs 3.5 steps and then dives. So like well within the range of all the torches he just lit. He's like apparently facing away. So the enemy, whoever it is that's going to come into this venue, is just going to see this like Stargate-like tunnel, and at the end of it, just Buck's ass perfectly framed in a giant ring. Like,
They'll just think it's an old couch. He doesn't read like a human shape in silhouette. Is all I'm saying.
That's what he's counting on.
There's a funny thing where he sees the girl in the ring, and he does something that never stops being funny to me on the show, where he stops and gives a testimonial. Like, he sees this unprecedented supernatural experience, and then he like runs off to do like a single. Like, he saw a little girl in the center of a rustic Instagram wedding, and he's like, just plain as day, she's just right there. And then he's like, hey, we're here in the dark forest, figure out what this little girl is doing here. And it implies that he hit pause on the deadly ghost circumstances and like, we'll get right back to them after these messages. Like a toddler playing weather reporter. Like, he's just...
And also, apparently,
so funny.
These other people are coming along looking for him, and he's just like doing a, hey, it's your boy Buck. They're just like, all right.
Right.
I mean, I'm right here.
This wedding planner is pissed at me.
So he hears their voices, but they're not looking for him. They're looking for the little girl. So first of all, I guess the rogue team did just drive around that long, because that did not buy him any amount of time. Like they thought he was going to have a lot of privacy to do this ritual within the like timeline of their show. He got enough time to light 6 torches, and they're right there. They're just so like when we cut, they drove right past Willie and Wild Bill, and they were like, "Well, fuck."
Also, if you're waiting for the rest of the team to come to his rescue, at the end of the last episode, they went home. They went to the hotel. Like, all right, well, Buck's pretty much got this from here on out. There's nothing we can do. Like, we certainly can't protect him from the men coming to kill him. Let's go to the hotel.
Now, you mean
not their base camp that they built,
right?
No,
right, guys?
No, they went to the B&B.
No, Willie. We mean the 4-star hotel they put us up at every single night, of course. So this forest golf cart is coming along. Buck rightfully assumes he's busted. He's a 4-foot high lump of man, quivering a couple of feet outside of a giant ring that's just highlighting him like a target. He's well within like ambient light range of both the headlights and torches, and he is holding a camera up above his head to film himself the whole time. He's holding it way up above, like up in the air, so they can see all of the camera. No, they don't see him. No exclamation points appear above the rogue team's head as they drive. They drive right past him, just totally oblivious. And then we cut back. It's the next day. We cut to Trapper, who was driving up, and he is looking for Huckleberry. And he's coming in like he's got a real. I know it's because he's not feeling well, but he's got a real annoyed, curt attitude. So it reads like he's coming up to be the grown up. Like after he's just heard about this playtime that has gotten out of hand. He's like, "Come on, guys! It is the last episode of the season. You have done." Literally, the very last episode, you were adding shit. You added shit in episode 7. You gotta. I'm coming here where I'm gonna put my foot down. You get one enemy. We're gonna when you settle for one enemy, you can all vote on it. And then at the end of the episode, we'll go, oh shoot, it got away. Out.
We had a formula. When I was in charge, we had a formula.
And this is why. Now you understand why the formula is there.
I think
he
there's
finds
something
Huckleberry.
I just wanted to mention that Buck is hiding from just a human. All it takes is more than 0 humans, and the Ames team will die. And we already listed the enemies they're facing. So I guess like that's what I'm dealing with when we cut back and see Trapper like all grouchy. I'm like, yeah, it's a bit much. Yeah, like this game is too hard. There's
set an impossible
Predator
condition
from the smash 1987 hit film Predator. In addition to all the other things we mentioned,
Arnold
Wolf,
Schwarzenegger
Valkyrie.
barely got him, and you're like, yeah, Buck's out there doing the Billy, just cutting his chest long ways.
And that there's a farmer with a mercenary army, and any one of those guys kills the entire team if they catch him. Those are the stakes that they make clear every time they jump into the ditch to hide from headlights.
Even better, imagine if the film Predator began with those guys raiding those gorillas, right? Then they encountered the Predator, then forgot the Predator was there and went back to the gorillas and never mentioned the Predator again.
Until presumably the very end when there's just like 3 lights appear on all of them and they just all start exploding. They're like the last guy is Huckleberry. He's like, oh, right.
Yep.
That's right.
And
God
while
damn
that
it.
was happening, someone kept changing the channel to the Blair Witch Project. You're like, dude, we're watching the movie about the gorilla people.
Digital brain rot.
That's the
ruined
show.
your attention span. So Huckleberry's out here, Trapper's out here looking for Huckleberry, and it's like, where am I gonna find him in these woods? And then he leans out the window. He's like, oh, there he is. And you just see Huckleberry like crouching and running through the woods, like a lost woods ape, just like he's right off of the road. Right off.
This
of the
is
road.
like a behind the scenes look at how they think finding people works. Like Trapper asks how to find Buck, and Huck says, we go on this road, and Buck says he'll find us. And then there he is. And then Buck is like, hey, there they are. Ta-da. That's how you give directions and follow directions.
Yeah, he finds both Huckleberry and Buck literally just crouching 4 feet off the main road because they're not willing to leave the road behind for any circumstances. Huckleberry tells him, like, Trapper, we're up against some ruthless sons of bitches, to which Trapper replies, you're kidding me.
That's going to be my quote of the episode.
He's so over this shit. He's just... Yeah.
You sure it wasn't a Bigfoot? You sure it wasn't one Bigfoot? Are you sure? You sure it was these 13 different things and an entire army of 50 plus men? You sure it wasn't a Bigfoot?
the thing. Sure, it wasn't some kind of
Departed with.
Sure, it wasn't some kind of monster from like a mountain. I don't know. There's like a template right in the name of the show. Oh, I get it. We're the mountain monster. All right. I get what we're doing. Trapper tells Buck he's got to contact the little girl somehow, and he says, Huckleberry, you have to contact Jeff. Something that would not occur to either man. Like, that's why we got Trapper in here. It's like, hey, somebody talk to Jeff.
It's like Trapper comes in and say, hey, that stuff you've been doing for 3 consecutive episodes, go do it.
Go do it. It's the last episode, is what he's here to say. So that's it for the day. Like, that's it for the day.
That's all they did.
Trapper coming in to be like, go wrap your shit up, guys.
It's now nighttime. They cut to nighttime. Him picking them up in the woods, that was the only thing they accomplished.
That was their whole day of shooting. So that night, Huckleberry rounds up Willie and Wild Bill to tell them he managed to do it. He managed to contact Jeff in his deep cover with the rival team in the mystical dark woods. And he did it through text. He texted Jeff. That's what he did for the rest of the day. The rest of his day was talking. He said 5-minute conversation with Trapper, texted Jeff, fell asleep for 6 hours, and now we're here. So they really shouldn't have given themselves full cell phone coverage in the dark woods. It would have really helped the storyline.
Yeah, it could have just been a spooky Dropbox with a message from Jeff. But no, he pulls out his iPhone and has a text.
Has a text. So he tells Willie and Wild Bill that Jeff wants them to hide and wait some more. We've waited away the whole day to get to this part where we talk, and now we're going to wait again.
He also says get the fastest truck, which is very funny because it implies they have a fleet of trucks.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gauged by fastness, by their speed and agility.
And then Huckleberry, to sum up the situation, just to reorient the viewer, says, okay, we've got to hunker down, keep an eye out for Jeff, but also we've got to keep an eye out for this rogue team. So it's just a waiting game. We got to wait for him. We got to also watch out for this rogue team. You also have to keep an eye out for the Predator from the hit film Predator.
Yeah.
And the Ravenmocker and the Woman of the Woods, who, remember, can kill you with a single touch. They called it the death touch or something. And also, she can breathe fire.
And the mind control.
A power they've... Yeah, also mind control. I guess the Black Wolf is dead.
Yeah, he might be dead.
The little girl's presumably tied up with Buck, but I feel like just those three threats are probably even more serious than the yokels riding around in golf carts.
Yeah, and there's not a lot of places to hide because they tell them just to go to the crossroads, implying that the treacherous maze of the dark forest is just two roads crossing each other at one point.
But they
didn't say go to sector B7 under the fucking waterfall.
They
go
do
to where
give
the roads
themselves
cross.
a little bit of drama. They give themselves a ticking clock. They at least know to do that, and they say we have less than an hour to get there. How long ago did you get that text? How long have we been fucking around? Right? Because you just skipped the whole day, buddy. Now you have less than an hour.
I agree it's stupid, but I appreciated that, okay,
I do.
We got it.
You're right.
Got it.
So they all pile into the truck, and we stay with them. We do what is kind of a cool shot that they do in a lot of modern war movies, where they're, riding over Wild Bill's shoulder as he's standing in the back of the pickup, and you're like, we're journeying off to war. And they go off to find this hideaway spot. We ride on his shoulder. I want to say less than 100 feet. They throw the truck into park and go, we're here. You had an hour? You had an hour to get... You could have seen it from where you were standing. You could have leaned over.
59 and a half minutes to kill. And the hiding spot, okay, they get there and they park their truck in a flat open area. Then they spread out with flashlights and camera crews and stand in a field. Can you imagine if you told your friends to go hide in a certain location? This is what they did.
They both take
without fireworks.
Pills.
There's no way to be more visible. The only way that could get worse is if they were lit a bonfire and had a party.
I want to paint the picture a little bit. So they drive up there and they determine that, as they put it, there's one hump to the side and one hump to the other, and they're each going to take a hump. I don't know why it's important that I revealed that phrasing, but what this is going to look like if you're the rogue team, because as you said, they have lights, they have camera crews, they're both standing on the peak of two humps joining on either side of the road. It's going to look like a big pair of dark titties with light nipples that you're coming up on. You're like, I could not be alerted more.
That doesn't catch the eye.
It's one way to get my attention, and it's dark titties with light nipples. I'm looking at right now. That's the
HBO Max logo now.
It was foreshadowing. I see. They hear something, and so as they're hiding, Huckleberry leans over and screams to Willie and Wild Bill across on the other side of the road, "You hear that? It sounds like some kind of vehicle approaching.
It's like a Naked Gun bit about guys trying to be quiet. It's so stupid.
They play stealth missions like I played Dishonored, where like they're like, okay, you have two options: go stealth. Like I will take option B.
Yeah, option B.
I'm taking
whatever it
option
is.
B. It's running in there screaming and seeing if I can blow something up before I die. That's what they do. So they see a light and they hear an engine coming, and it's Jeff, and Jeff is power waddling across that field like he's doing his best to make it an action moment, but he is like a 70-year-old man with bad knees running through a dark field, and he is not willing to get hurt. So it's just little high steps as he makes just kind of a little hustle. He's got a little hustle as if it's funny
I would
to
say
picture.
a near hustle. He's hobbling at a near hustle.
He's doing a mile and a half.
It's the kind of hustle where if like you're crossing the street in front of a car, like you don't change speed, but you just kind of wiggle a little. Let
Yeah,
them know
there it
that
is.
you see him. You're
Yeah.
like.
It's a courtesy hustle. It's a
Yeah,
courtesy, hustle.
hustle.
I'm going. I've got some bad knees, but I'm going to do it. And I guess that's the high-speed chase, implying that somehow whoever his pursuers are cannot catch him while doing this, which is very funny to me. But he makes it to the truck, and Wild Bill just fucking slams his ass in the truck bed like a sack of firewood. He just picks him up and bam, he's just down, rolling in the truck bed. And they take off on a high-speed chase, which actually looks pretty sweet because they cut back to Jeff a few times, and he's leaning out the side of the truck bed with his sex Jeff hair, his special like spy makeup cool guy hair blowing in the wind. Like, fuck yeah. That looks cool. It looks cool as shit,
Yep.
Jeff. You were right
Looks
to do
like
that.
a cool dog. Like a cool country dog.
So they drive down the only road there is for a bit and then pull off, having successfully lost their pursuers.
It's like 200 yards, and the other truck's like, oh, what
There's
are we gonna,
one road.
I don't want to
so
be.
funny.
I don't want to sound like a jerk here, but this is a good teaching moment for anybody out there that wants to write fiction or write screenplays or write anything like this. When the heroes are being chased, or there's some sort of any kind of an action thing happening where there's bad guys after them, they need to have gotten away for a reason. Like, they need to have done something that's like, oh, this is the thing the heroes did that let them get away. You generally don't just want the bad guys to stop pursuit and give up.
Yeah.
Like, all right, the chase, we are announcing to the camera that the chase has now concluded.
Yes.
They gave up.
And if they had only, if the bad guys had only had the will to continue straight, there was no turns. They didn't lose them in the city. They just like,
It's worth mentioning that they weren't going anywhere. They just stopped and got out of the truck to just kind of talk outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
so
as
now
Jeff puts it, dang, those guys were relentless.
for all 200 feet of that chase. So once they get in the woods, Jeff's nose starts to bleed again, which of course means that he's horny. We all know that from anime. And he tells them
Is that
that
true?
yeah, that's an anime thing. That's like, I don't know that. I don't understand the significance, but like people when people are horny, they'll have a nosebleed.
Every detail I hear about Japanese cartoons is so gross.
I can't explain to you why that is, but that is an anime trope, and like
Well, we don't
it's
need to
very
get off
funny.
on it.
It's very funny to me to see Jeff like every time they're in a situation like a tense situation, they cut back to Jeff having a nosebleed. Like, oh, he got a little horny during that chase, didn't he? Like that chase, it was the wind in his cool dog hair, and he was like, oh,
He's
The
so
thing
fussy
is-
about it too.
We're trying to make a joke out of it, but their explanation is kind of dumber than what we just said, because Jeff says, well, it's not stopping. It never stops bleeding. I'm getting headaches. No one suggests taking him to the doctor. And again, I will say this. If you know a 70-year-old man whose nose is bleeding 24 hours a day, even if you think it's the result of a witch's curse or something else that we'll get to, just run him to the doctor. He's old enough, probably got Medicare.
Send him
they'll
on an
cover it.
undercover operation. Oh, you said the doctor? Oh, no, that's probably a better idea than the undercover operation.
Huckleberry says to camera, the stress of this dark forest is really getting to him. That's what's making his nose bleed.
Yep. My professional medical opinion.
That is,
It's not. That's what a doctor will tell you. It's like, are you in any cursed woods lately? This is going to sound crazy, but have you been chasing the Predator from the smash hit 1987 film Predator?
Because he is lousy with disease. They don't tell you that. So Jeff tells the rest of the team that Rogue Team 4 aren't guarding their main building because they're all out the side looking for Buck. So I guess it's nice to have adversaries that play to your level. They'll just, every single one of them abandon their main building. So it's an opportune time for the rest of the team to break in there and get some answers. So that's what we do in this scene. You know what we don't do in this scene? You know what we don't do here? Explain why the Rogue Team was suddenly mad at Jeff.
Yeah, you're right. We have no idea why they're chasing him.
The last time we saw Jeff, he had just gotten back in their good graces. They saw like, you told us Buck had met the little girl who was the chosen one. We're all like, yeah, you're all the way in now. And then the next time they see him, he's just huffling, puffling, just running away from them. Like,
run! You're flying into the bed of a truck, like, go, go, go!
flinging across a potato field. What did you do, Jeff?
You don't even ask him.
I don't even ask. Did you bang the leader's busty daughter or something? Like,
It's like, nah, we all knew it was eventually going to end this way. The details are unimportant.
just never mention it. They never explain it.
Let's give them some credit here, because they do a nice bit of, because we make fun of the fact that they forget what the plot is from moment to moment, but they specifically say we can get into their headquarters because they're all tied up trying to track Buck. So as long as Buck is there in the dark forest to keep them tied up and on this wild goose chase, they'll be fine. That's the key, is that this operation works because Buck is there keeping them tied up. See, it all ties together. We act like they don't have this kind of cohesion in their storytelling. But
Okay, so the next scene, we get black text explaining Trapper called Buck off camera to tell him he thinks they missed something.
And he has left the state.
And he has left the dark. He left the scene entirely.
He
And they
left
have to
Virginia.
the whole team, the whole Rogue Team away. All that Farmers Mercenary Army followed Buck on this long country
They're
drive.
all on the interstate in a big convoy behind him.
He has left Virginia. He's gone back to West Virginia. He's left the state.
And he's gone back because Trapper needs him to revisit the shed of failure that the other Rogue Team set up. The shed where Trapper nearly bled to death for no reason. He just hurt himself on his truck and almost died in that shed. And then he discovered once inside the shed that it is lined with pictures of every single time they missed something on every case they've ever been on. The shed of their own failure. And so he sent Buck back there, and Buck reminds us that Jeff at the time found a picture that he thought might have been something, and Trapper found coordinates they just never went to.
Also,
He remembers that. He reminds us that we found coordinates that we never went to.
That won't come up again, which is crazy, but it's maybe more crazy that they didn't document anything on this. Like, this is they didn't take pictures of those pictures. They didn't take the pictures with them as keepsakes even, or just to make sure local kids didn't come across 7,000 pictures of nude men and Bigfoot murders, or you know what I mean? Like it's still there. What, is it 2 months later in the storyline?
It is. That's the other thing. It comes up on the screen. It says that they found Trapper in that shack 8 weeks ago. Have they been in the dark forest for? Because they went to the dark forest right after this. Have they been in the dark forest for 7 weeks?
whole summer.
6 or 7 weeks?
The whole summer.
It's very funny to think that what we thought was a week's worth of plot has been 2 months, and they cut out all the times where they just had a nice lazy day in the sun. Nothing much happened.
Jeff was embedded with these people for 2 months and never figured out what they do or who they work for?
He had a lot of time to make those enemies, explain why he was running across that potato field.
From Halloween to Christmas, Jeff was embedded with the rogue team.
Banging the rogue team's leader's daughter the whole time. The whole time.
I bet they're just bullies, and Jeff is just sitting around peeing his pants and bleeding from his nose, and they finally are just like, we are going to wedgie this guy. And he's like, they're going to wedgie me. Get the fastest truck.
Somebody just like, it was dead silent, and then Jeff farted or something, and somebody went, you know what? Let's get this guy. They were like, yeah. All right. No, so Buck reminds us of a few things. He says, Jeff found a picture there. 2 months, we never asked him what that picture was. We just never really followed up on that one. Trapper found coordinates, and you see him there. He's so close to getting it, and then he says, that means there must be something else in that shed. No! That was the thing! Go to the coordinates!
I think
That's
Buck
the
says there's a
puzzle.
picture of the symbol. It was 3 lines coming together. We humans don't have a word for it, but it's some kind of like a witch shape. I don't know.
As he's going up to the shed, Buck pauses and sees like where Trapper had bled, and he says, those K9s were hot on Trapper's trail that night, and now, just like the dogs, I'm hot on his trail too. But you know where the shed is, buddy. The thing you're tracking through the woods is a shed that you have been to before.
Also,
you can't track a building.
in their own fiction, Buck is not examining a crime scene for a clue that the bad guys, for evidence that they accidentally left behind. Like, oh, they don't want us to know they were here, but I'm here to scour this for a scrap of fabric. Aha, they were here. No. In their own storytelling that they made up, he's going back there to solve the puzzle that these guys wanted him to solve, not tonight, but 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
It's like stopping in the middle of a PowerPoint presentation and saying, guys, this guy is trying to tell us how to like manage the finances for our dental industry.
And then if you decided that to find the next slide in the PowerPoint was 100 miles away and you drove there and then 2 months later came back and said, I think we just need to watch the rest of this PowerPoint. They spent hours preparing this. This was a presentation. This was not hidden.
Yeah.
It was, the walls were covered in photos of them, and spoiler, the thing is hidden behind the photos. They wanted them 2 months ago to take the photos down. It's like, hey, we're going to collect these and see if there's a pattern or whatever. Oh my gosh, here's the message. And they just didn't. In their own improvised story, they just didn't do that.
Let's rewind, because the picture is much bleaker than you're painting it to be. So first of all, Buck pauses at the door to the shed to say, I don't know what I'm getting into here. I don't know if everything's the same or if it's all changed. I guess that is like the Schrodinger nature of opening a door to find out if a place is.
That is true. I think you're underselling it. He is having like a full Nom flashback. Like anytime he gets near a tree he's seen before, he's like, oh God, this is the tree near that shed where those
Well,
pictures
he was hit
were.
by a door by a Bigfoot. A Bigfoot did open a door into him. He could be having flashbacks. So he does open that door and he says, oh my gosh, all the pictures are still here. Nothing's changed.
Exactly as one would expect. Dear God.
That's the end of that moment as he finds out there was no change. Oh my God. And he does say, we were so focused on Trapper, we didn't take the time to look at any of these pictures. And also not said, we never fucking came back. We never came back. I love that we're all independently hitting what has been one of my favorite things for a long time, which is once you introduce the concept of a Jigsaw-like puzzle master, which they have, it's a man in a mask who has set them on this whole storyline as part of the Jigsaw Puzzle Master. That you failed on so many of his puzzles. We're really tapping into like the raw frustration of that a puzzle master must feel if this is the person you get. You're like, God damn it. Are you kidding me? Because what we find out when we're in there is that he looks all around the shed, right? And he's like, oh my God. First of all, in like all of these pictures, there's the little girl in the background. You're like, hold on. If it's one, you're like, oh my God, you lost it in the sea of pictures. But he pulls off like 40 pictures.
Yeah.
But it's even sadder than that. I'm sorry that we have to keep topping each other. They do a time-lapse thing of Buck walking around and around looking at the pictures and the pictures. At one point, he gets so frustrated, he asks the cameraman to leave so he can just try to be by himself to try to figure out what is the pattern, what is the pattern. Looks and looks and looks. Hours have passed, and finally it's like, wait a second. That little girl is there. Wait a second. She's in every single one of these photos, plainly visible.
Yes.
Like we're standing here and she's right over our shoulder. Like the C-Quad guy has got to be having a stroke somewhere because he's got to like watch
so
this.
mad. He's so fucking mad. He's just
okay. And I want to again. We're topping each other. The perfect punchline to all of this is Buck looks at the camera and he says, "Part of me thinks maybe I'm just overthinking this." He took 8 weeks to remember this insane monument to his failure, where his team leader almost died from a 40-foot walk, and his only thought was, "Hey, maybe this is something." And he's worried he's overthinking it.
But it's all worth it because he decides that the revelation here is that that little girl is in the dark forest.
Right.
oh my god.
Which changes
yes.
everything because that's the only place they've ever seen her.
He just saw her.
Now,
Like,
wait.
just saw her in person hours ago.
He's a state away now. He's driven a full state
find
away from the ghost.
Photos of the person that he was right next to the night before.
That's my favorite part of like every Supernatural episode is when they encounter the ghost and then they drive a full state away and then they stop and go, "Wait a minute, was that the fucking ghost?" And then they have to
ghost.
turn around and drive
Yeah.
all the way back. I'm gonna
he's like
top. I'm gonna top
4%.
everything.
Oh, okay,
One more time
okay.
here. One more time. If you take fast-forwarded footage of a real big guy walking 2 steps in each direction, it doesn't look like a Sherlock moment. It looks like a Weeble Wobble. All right, maybe that didn't top it. I'm sorry, I might have broken the flow there.
That was pretty. I think that might have just been mean.
But
I'm so pissed off because this is 4% into the plot, and he's like, oh yeah, the little girl's over in the forest. We got to get to that forest. I was trying to, like in traditional storytelling, this would be like someone in Act 3 of Star Wars saying, "Hold on, guys. During the battle, rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star." You're like, yes, they told us that the very first fucking thing.
It's not over either. He realizes on top of that, he pulls a picture down and he realizes, wait a minute, there's something behind these pictures.
Oh,
there's
God.
writing back here. And so he starts ripping all the pictures down and he realizes not only is there writing, each of the letters is like 4 feet high, written in brilliant glowing green paint across the entire shed. It's the largest puzzle. It's like, even in large print, in case you have trouble seeing, like, you can't miss this puzzle. And
But there's a switch on the wall that he hits and thinks, well, wait a second, that didn't turn on a light because this haunted shack has full electricity. It's right
Full
there in
electricity.
somebody's yard. Wait a second, it's a black light. Hold on. And he plugs in the black light and the ultraviolet light fills the room and changes absolutely nothing.
absolutely nothing.
The
What it
paint
does is it
visible in regular light.
It makes the paint, which was already day glow green, really pop. Just to rub in the fact that you fucking missed this. You missed
Also,
this.
don't turn on the black light in the Jack Shack. Leave it off.
The Jack Shack of your specific failure. Yes. You don't need to see where he targeted each of the failures.
If Jigsaw leads you to a dungeon and it's covered in photos of you and he says, now turn on this black light. Don't.
I'm out.
Don't give him that. I know what you've done.
Each of these photos is the exact moment in which you missed something, and that's my fetish.
Yeah. Let me just say that these are my tribute to you.
So after Buck rips all the
This is
photos
a real
down,
question. Was the little girl in the background of all of these episodes? And like, this is like some masterful. Okay.
Sean, if you go check. if they secretly had her back there during these last 3 years or however many years of filming, I will give you everything I own. I will cash out my 401k that I still had from crack. I will sell my house. I will give you all of my worldly possessions if it turns out that they actually did. Because I know for a fact they would have shown those clips and not just had him hold up the photos. Yeah. Because, hey, guess what? If this was real, the first thing you would do is go to freaking Colt Straub and say, get the raw footage from all of these hunts. I think that little girl was haunting us in every shot. That would be freaking amazing. No, they photoshopped her in there. But if I'm
that's
wrong,
the bet, I am so confident. I'm not even going to check. No. Those are the sticks. With all that money on the line, no, I'm not going to bother. Yeah, pretty sure.
So he rips all the photos down, and what all this text says, which again, 3 feet high, glowing. It's the most insulting puzzle you could possibly give somebody. It says, "Find the blood skull. Find the woman of the woods." And the puzzle master drew a really cute little skull, just in case Buck can't read, which I think is a fair assumption at this point.
And the handwriting is like so nice. And then they added these delicate little lines to sort of imply dripping, like we want it to look like dripping paint, right? Oh yeah, I got that. Little, get my Toll painting brush out. It is adorable. And Buck is spinning while the camera is spinning around him, and the music is like ba-bwomp, ba-bwomp. It is, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. It's a crescendo
of immense failure. And he was supposed to find that 2 fucking months ago.
2 months ago.
Now hold on. Just to add insult to injury, Buck says the little girl is the key. The only way I was able to find this shack was the little girl. She's trying to help me. She's trying to show me where the blood skull is by putting this here. It's like, no, Sequad put this here.
No, the fucking puzzle master put it here.
The
puzzle
state
master
police
spent
led
the
you
whole
there
weekend
with a fucking canine unit.
Like, this is, if this was the Riddler and this was Batman, Buck was Batman, this hillbilly puzzle master was the Riddler, the movie would end with the Riddler just coming out with a machine gun and being like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Like, here's a question. These are all questions. All my bullets are fucking questions. Like, just broke his fucking brain.
Guys, I think that guy is shooting us.
God damn it. Back in the woods.
They took 1,200 pictures of a little girl ghost from their own footage of their TV show, hung them on the wall, had to wait 2 months for them to even look at them, had to watch him for hours spin around a room until he realized, oh, there's a little girl ghost in each of these photos of little girl ghosts. Fucking insane.
All right, so back in the woods, the rest of the team, remember, are going to raid Rogue Team 4's secret headquarters. Huckleberry takes some time to remind us, well, this here's some rough country, which I found, like, that's a little bit of fan service for me.
Yeah.
Like, just throwing that in there.
We still got that drinking game somewhere.
Yeah, you got that.
For listeners, it's not. It's
No, it's not. Well, what he says is, this is some rough country off to the side of this path. I mean, let's not analyze that more than it needs to be.
It's a real average hiking trail near what presumably might have some bumps. I don't know.
So they find their secret headquarters and they realize there's a patrol still. So they're not all looking for Buck. They left a patrol behind. And what's even worse, there's a small hill between them and the building. So this looks like a job for not Jeff and Huckleberry. That small hill and a stealth mission, that's Willie and Wild Bill. And they fucking love it. They both just go sliding down that hill. Wild Bill does a bunch of pointless somersaults in the leaves. He's just really having some fun with it. And they go in they hide. I don't know if this counts as a headlights dive into the leaves scenario, but there are headlights and they do dive into the leaves. The guards get in a truck and they kind of pin them in the headlights, but it's like it's Tyrannosaurus rules. If you don't move, they can't see you. They drive right past you.
Right.
They don't trigger their aggro. So Huck reminds them, very important at this point, he reminds them, now hold on. Remember, only 2 guards got into that truck. The third one, he's still there patrolling.
Yeah, so keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Right.
All
There's
right,
a moment here where Jeff knows things. So he he knows how these guys operate. Remember, he's been embedded for 2 months. So he gives them intel. And the intel he gives them is there's doors on the backside, there's doors on the front.
Oh, shit.
End of intel dump.
That's what I found in my 2 months of banging the rogue team's leader's daughter.
They have a building, and it has entrances.
So there's still one patrolling. They slip past whoever that guy is seamlessly, just right into the building, only to find it's full of trash because this is someone's barn. And when the production team said, hey, can we move this trash? We're going to shoot. The farmer said, oh, absolutely not. No.
You don't touch that trash.
No. So they slip through the barn, they find a door and kick it open, ready to just blow away whoever's inside. They both got their guns out there like, whoever's on the other side of that door, like just gonna fucking murder that dude. They kick that door open, run into the room, and find the wall is covered in skulls. Wait, I'm sorry. That sounded cooler than it was. The wall is covered in pictures of skulls. I'm sorry. Still sounds too cool.
Still too
covered in crude drawings of cool skulls, like a 14-year-old's homework.
No, even that is too cool. It is covered in clip art they got off the internet, where they Googled skull clip art. Some of them are like whimsical. Some of them are like
some of them have
card,
angry eyebrows.
But they did not draw these. This is skull clip art. You could probably find all of these exact ones that they then printed off of a laser printer and tagged up all over the interior of the room. Now, here's the thing. This is similar set decoration to the thing that Buck just left. So you're thinking, oh, okay, they've left those behind as like a puzzle for them to solve. No. They infiltrated the enemy's headquarters. Those skulls are just there.
Just decoration.
I think this might just be like a real basic bitch tattoo parlor. Like,
well, anybody wants
pick
skulls.
Pick from 1,000 different skulls. This is like, I wrote that it looks like a Bulgarian first-person shooter. I don't know if it means anything, but it just feels like someone hit like print on their first-person shooter map. Like, yeah, whatever. Skulls. Pictures of skulls on the wall. I don't know.
It's so funny that somebody said the word skull, and they're like, you know what's cool? Skulls. I'm going to put a bunch of them around. Okay, what's the significance?
But also,
what's the what now?
There's also a map. This is the secret room that like they wouldn't let Jeff look at. If he's not in deep enough to see this room, and it is all those dumb skull clip arts and a map of the forest that they're in. That they do not know the context of. So they do need to know more about that. So Willie radios Huck and Jeff that, all right, come down. But remember, there's a third guard patrolling that's unaccounted for. I want you to remember that because they do not. They forgot they said that 5 minutes ago. Huckleberry walks right up. He screams into the window, "Hey, Willie, you in there?"
And then they just start like joking around, just like hanging out. It's like one point because Wild Bill points to one of the skulls, like, that one's got a bunch of teeth missing. Ha! Like me, looks like me. I think that's my skull up there.
Jeff
they
points at the
for
map.
A while.
There's 3 rings on the map, and Jeff says, "That's the 3 rings right there." And I swear to God, Wild Bill goes, "That's a good call, Jeffro."
And not only that, on the map that they've drawn of the Dark Forest, they've got the section at the top with the 3 rings because they remembered they said they're at the north, and those rings, we know the scale of those rings, and so they show the 3 rings positioned in that spot. We know the scale of that spot. We've been there. So I paused the screen and, knowing the scale of those rings, that they're 10 to 12 feet wide, the entire Dark Forest, according to their own map, is about 200 feet wide and about 600 feet long. That's 2 football fields.
Everything we've seen so far confirms that. All of it checks out.
That's about 5 times bigger than what they portray it as, but it is the size of something with one trail down the center, and then I guess there's a crossroads at one point. But yeah, it is the size of not even a golf course. It's just, you could see to the one end of it to the other. You could just stand there and you could see the 3 rings from your tent.
All the clues were there the whole time. Remember when they first met that farmer and he said, "Dark Forest? This is just my backyard."
The fact that
remember, this is a stealth mission.
Yeah, you can see down there where my daughter got married.
So they've already made the mistake of kicking down the door. So someone might know they're there.
Screaming in the window.
starts dripping blood from his nose onto the map, the sacred map that they've been protecting with guards. So I think that the rogue team's going to be able to put this together. Like, there's a bunch of nose blood all over the map. Hey, didn't we know a recent undercover guy?
Somebody took one of my skull
face?
drawings. The one without the teeth. Who took one of my? That was my favorite one. No, so they see lights coming, and they're like, "Oh shit! The rogue team came back. We gotta go!" And they start fleeing when Jeff collapses. He's just weak with blood loss. His whole face, his beard is all messy with blood again. So it's time to continue to get the fuck out of here. Wait, I don't know why we paused. Wait, we're getting the fuck out of here? We're gonna keep getting the fuck out of here. They do. They find a farmer's shed, another convenient farmer's shed. This one complete with an air conditioner, has an air conditioner in the window. So, they're truly just in somebody's, this is like their kid's shed.
Invading someone's
like their craft shack. They do. They just hunker down in there to recover while Huckleberry's like, I'm going to go secure the perimeter, by which he means somebody's house. He's just stalking around somebody's house then. We see Buck coming back to the Dark Forest. I guess he's coming back from Virginia. He's made some real good time. He's reminding us that the little girl is the key here, the little girl and the blood skull. And I wonder how much of this was
He needs to get in
news.
contact with the little girl so that she can tell him where the blood skull is. Hold on, I wrote down the chain of events. Because shit, I can't find it. I'll have to do it by memory. So okay, so little girl is going to point him to the blood skull, and then that'll help him find the black wolf, I think, and then that will.
Sean, the message
Black
on the
Wolf's dead.
wall was find the blood skull,
Right.
find the woman of the woods. That's
Okay,
the
so
only
we're
thing
skipping
that's
the wolf.
ever been.
Right. No, there's no more Ravenmocker. There's no more Bigfoot. He finds the woman of the woods, and then they capture her, and then they give her to the rogue team, and then they give them the location of the bad guys, and they go to them, and then they get the body of the Stonish giant.
Thus proving Bigfoot exists.
They're going to prove that Bigfoot exists in these Appalachian mountains. That's Trapper's mission.
Even though they don't say that anymore. Even though they have not said that. Like maybe they got sued by probably not Bigfoot, but maybe the Appalachian Mountains. Stop talking about us. All right, so Buck goes back out. He returns to the woods, and he goes back out to where he disappeared and the cameraman lost him, which he's acting like, oh my God, I've accidentally stumbled on this place. He's been back here twice since that happened. Both times he just found it. It's not a mystical Lost Woods scenario. He's like, yeah, I was over there by that tree. It's like his favorite place in the woods. He says he's starting to remember his lost time. And he remembers when he said, I know why Jeff's nose bleeds. Because he said that when he was being mind controlled by the woman of the woods. And this time he knows I can relay that message. Which, good thing we got full cell phone coverage here, because he just calls Huckleberry.
Yeah.
The moments are so undercut when you're like, all right, putting the phone to my ear. Hey, here's why Jeff's nose bleeds. And he says, I do know why Jeff's nose bleeds. Long pause. There's something in his nose. He's got a marble up there. He needs to go to the vet.
I get that these guys don't know a ton about storytelling, but they should know what it's like to put a marble up their nose. That seems like their area of expertise. So they would know that you would be able to tell, right? They know enough about noses to know that, if you have something in your nose, you're, ooh, I got something in my nose. I can't breathe through that nostril. That might be a sign. I'm bleeding out of my face. Also frustrating is my point.
Jeff picked up on none of that. So Huckleberry heads back, and now he has to get whatever it is. Buck didn't remember what it was out of Jeff's nose. So he tips Jeff's head back, and he shines a flashlight up there, and he's like, by God, there is something up there. Now, everybody looks around this shed to go get something. We got to get something. Who can tell? One pair of rusty pliers or something? They got to find something to get it out of there. And they come up with a pair of spotless, brand new medical-grade removal pliers.
Yeah, forceps, right? And that what?
Yeah, forceps.
Immaculate
What was,
force. And there's nothing in this shed. It is like dusty debris. There's not like tools and junk drawers.
Real worrisome. Real worrisome that you find that
Yes.
in this empty, barren shed with a working air conditioner, and two
And a
medical
box of
forceps.
fingernails and human teeth.
Huh.
At the very least, wash that sucker thoroughly before putting it into your body, because
So
Yeah, they
hold-
don't go home to do the surgery. They're like, well,
Right
we just
there,
got a phone
baby.
call about a thing. And they can see it. Like when they look up Jeff's nose, they can see it, which is, I think, maybe the most frustrating thing is that there's no way he didn't know that was there.
but they're-
Also, we were doing a fucking Predator and now we're doing a Total Recall.
yep.
I can see why he could get confused, but
Sean, in their fiction, there's nothing whatsoever stopping them from going to a doctor and saying, hey, this old man's got something shoved up his nose. We think a witch or something put it up there. Can you, like, it's an obstruction. Can you get it out? This does not need to be done in a dusty old shed. They are
Absolutely.
not trapped there by their own storytelling. They are in no way trapped in this forest. They leave all the time. In fact, this shed, they said it's on a farmer's property outside the dark forest. They've already left. They just got to go into town and find a clinic.
There's time. Buck just went to fucking Virginia.
Yeah, what's
It's not
the ticking
it's not
clock?
dire.
It's not
Apparently,
a
this whole
bomb.
thing took 2 months. Apparently, this has been 2 months. Like, we got some vacation days. All right, so they hold Jeff down, and he really takes it like a champ, by which I mean he screeches like a bat the whole time.
so
And you
in
think-
okay, they went out. The cameraman went outside to get an exterior shot of this place, so that when Jeff screamed, it would look all like a scene that you've seen in a movie. But it's a reality show.
They're doing the Total Recall scene, and the Total Recall scene, of course, that Arnold pulls this immense thing out of his nose that looks like it's absolutely horrible to do. And of course, they don't have the special effects budget, so they just cut to Huckleberry holding the forceps barely in Jeff's nose, and then they have something that they pulled out. And what Huckleberry has pulled out, it could be anything, because again, you didn't actually pull it out of his nose. They did the cut. They cut away. They cut back. And what Huckleberry has looks like a piece from a board game, like a real small one. It's about 1/4 inch. It looks like, you know what it is? It's like an earring. It's like the bottom part of an earring that you would buy from Hot Topic, because it is a little skull.
A little skull.
And
it's
when
like
I say
a
a
cool
little
sixth
skull-
grader's backpack charm.
Yeah, it's not like a scary skull.
Yeah.
It might actually be Jack Skellington's face. Like it.
Ooh, I think it may be.
If it's from Hot Topic, it's definitely Jack Skellington's face that he had up there. He snorted a teenage girl's earring.
He's had that probably in his nose for what, 30 years then. He's like, yeah, I got a Happy Meal.
No, baby,
after
the 90s are back.
Nightmare Before Christmas came out when I was, a young man.
But what matters is Buck was told to find the blood skull. He then remembered that the same entity told him, that Jeff's got something up his nose. They pull it out. It's a tiny little skull, totally covered in blood, red with blood, because they had fake blood just pouring everywhere. Because this scene where they pull the thing out of his nose, this goes on for a long time. Like, Jeff is screaming for 2 consecutive minutes while they dig around in there with the forceps. There's blood everywhere. So
He's got a
here we
stick in
go.
his mouth.
We've got a little bloody skull. We found the blood skull.
Found the blood
Why
skull.
would you not assume this is the blood skull? They told you find the blood skull, find the woman of the woods. We found a little bloody skull inside of Jeff. This was
He's
part
been
of the
possessed.
same revelation. So what's the next thing that's going to happen?
So the next thing that's going to happen is we're back to Buck. And Buck is wandering through the forest when he stops, and I just want to pause real quick and outline how infuriating this is to watch for the rest of this, because he has discovered making the YouTube-friendly algorithm face. And he goes, oh, like big open mouth, wide eyes over and over again. It's so annoying that he does this. It's kind of the Homer Simpson's slow smile of delight meme, but I guess for horror. Just, he starts making that face, and every time he does it, and he does it a lot, he's looking at a new type of little Blair Witch sculpture. But it's just, he looks Blair Witch sculpture, little Blair Witch sculpture, little Blair Witch sculpture, and he says, oh, everywhere I look, it's the scariest, freakiest symbols I've ever seen. And I just want the editor to flash back to the time he was like, oh, I've never been scared. I've never been scared. You're scared by sticks.
Yeah,
You're
dude.
scared by an
These are
increasing symbol.
triangles. Oh, I just thought of the word for when you have 3 lines together.
Oh, there it is. And then as the pièce de résistance, he turns and he sees the paper mache wolf head. And you don't show us the wolf head in like better detail. Don't do that. It's so funny. It's something you would not be proud of a 3rd grader for making. Like you would see it, you would see that and you would be like, "Oh, hey, is that a goat or something?" And they'd say, like, it's a wolf. And you'd be like, "Ah, well, maybe next time you and me can look at a picture of a wolf together while you make it." It's so fucking stupid. And that's like the big scare on top of this moment. He realizes this is where he was when he was lost that first time, when he vanished from cameraman Liam's view. And some screams start coming from the woods. And to each one, Buck responds, "Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh."
Yet someone is just pounding that Halloween sound effects device.
So he sees the little girl again out in the woods and she's pointing, and he follows where she points. And he finds what he calls a throne, but is really just a bunch of brush. It's just like a gardener is working on your lawn and it's been a long time kind of thing.
It kind of read like a throne a little bit.
I didn't get
They
throne.
saw Game of Thrones and they're like, let's do something like that.
It's a bunch. It's like some grapevines, some moss, and a tree stump in a big pile. And inside, he finds the blood skull again.
I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off that the other blood skull from the human
not
skull
the
was
blood
not the blood skull.
This is
so
another
pissed off.
case where they didn't communicate. Buck called them and is like, "I'm doing a thing out here in Virginia. It's about finding the blood skull." And then he hung up. And they're like, "Well, I guess we're finding a blood skull. I guess that's the Jeff's nose thing." He said something about Jeff's nose.
Yeah.
And he didn't tell him, "I'm going to find the blood skull." So
They
now we're
probably
both-
said, "Oh, that's perfect. We just pulled the blood skull out of Jeff." And like, oh, I guess he hung up a minute ago. Oh well.
He was out there. He was sniffing teenagers at the mall again. He got one of their earrings up his nose. We had to be clear, I'm talking about the character Jeff is playing.
Yeah. If you guys are watching this, we are talking about the fictional characters. We're not
We know
accusing.
you're a thespian. You've created such a believable character that's what I would say about the way you look and behave. So Buck finds the blood skull, and I just want to. The blood skull is also not like a well done artifact. This is like a ceramic arts and crafts skull you'd buy from like an old Mexican lady. Like it's just it's cute. You're like, I would
Day of the
totally
Dead
have that
collectible.
on my desk or something. They don't do anything to it. And then he turns around and encounters a spooky skeleton. They put a little dress on it. They put a wig on it. He sees a skeleton. And he runs. And he runs the fuck away from that skeleton.
Okay.
I guess.
I'm going to pause you there. He runs 12 feet, tops. And running is too strong a word. And when he stops and talks about it like it's the distant past. Like if he held out his arm and the skeleton held out their arm, they could high five. And he is like, whew, that was a close one.
But what's important is he says that's the woman of the woods. It had to have been her. So here we are. The thing they needed to do. That's the thing you're trying to capture. That's the entire reason you're here. So now the main part of the episode can start. Oh, wait, there's only 43 seconds left.
Yep.
Yes,
Again,
so
I
despite
guess-
being a fully safe 12 feet away from her, he decides to run away from the woman he's there to catch.
I guess he left the blood skull too. It didn't look to me like he grabbed it.
No, he did not. Again, not to put too fine a point on it. When he went out with the instructions, find the blood skull, find the woman of the woods. To find the blood skull, I find that thing, there she's going to be. He did not also arrive with some means of subduing the woman of the woods or with any plan of action whatsoever of what he would do once he found her, which again is his job. It's the only thing he's there to do.
Man,
I
this
don't
is
want to
gonna
make
be
you more mad, But he did not get there by following the GPS coordinates. He just got out of the truck
There's
and
still
wandered.
time to do the coordinates thing.
Just saying,
is going to be the most
They
amazing.
still haven't used those coordinates.
Yes, the credits are rolling on the episode right now. They literally are
No.
starting to do the disclaimers over this final bit.
This has got to be the best 43 seconds because, like, all right, I'll even give him this. The Black Wolf plotline, Indian Grim Reaper's dead. Boom. No Indian ever dies again. If they do, they're faking it. It's a lie. They killed him off screen. Predator from the movie Predator didn't want to be involved with the little girl, went home. We still got to wrap up Ravenmocker. Wait, he hasn't shown up at all. Woman of the Woods, the rival rogue team. Who is the little girl? What does that have to do with it? We only got 43 seconds left. I now know that they got a huge bump in funding and renewed for 2 more seasons and a new network. This 43 seconds is gonna fucking whip ass. It's like, it's gonna be just an incredible action sequence. So, here's what happens. Buck arrives back at his truck, and he does his stupid YouTube face again, and he says, "There's someone in my truck." And that someone turns their head, revealing the skull face of the rogue team's puzzle master. And he says, "Put down the camera. Get in." And Buck does. And then they drive away. And that's the end.
No, I want to set it a little more. He while he's standing face to face with Skullman in his own truck, he turns to his camera and he says, "Hey, there's a skull guy in my camera." Like this message needs to go out to the person he's FaceTiming, and he says, "I hate to do it, but I got to get in." And
I have to do what this guy says in all
Yep.
circumstances, just because he told me. I mean, what else am I going to do?
That was it. That was the end of their very first attempt to do a season-long story arc. And I would say, they didn't wrap up one. They introduced 17 loose ends.
So
They left them all dangling.
But let's try to map it out right now. Like now that we know that the man behind the mirror came to the woods and got in Buck's truck, how does this tie together the little girl, the woman of the woods, the blood skull, the other blood skull, the Ravenmocker, the Black Wolf, the Predator from the hit film Predator, the Rogue Team, Sequad, Rogue Team 4, the farmer who hired Rogue Team 4, who they've never talked to, and finally the coordinates that they found in Trapper's house and in the Shack of Shame. What's the mythology that can make that all be part of one unified, all of this occurring on one miniature golf course sized piece of land? Brockway, I'll let you walk us through it.
yeah,
Okay, I don't know the answer, but I assume that's what happens as we cut away and the camera is rolling. I assume that's what the Rogue Team Puzzle Master is saying the whole time, where he's just like, okay, first of all, the wolf head, you didn't look in the wolf head. I taught you to look in animal heads when I put the hog head out there. You didn't go to the coordinates. You didn't take the blood skull. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm just gonna have to walk you through absolutely everything. I'm just gonna tell you all the answers. Like, that's not fun. That's not fun for me as a puzzle master. Like, I didn't get to be a puzzle master to explain things to people. It's good when it's like a cooperative experience. It's good when you come to this, but you're not gonna come to this, are you? And Buck just like looking down at his hands the whole time, like, "No, sir. No, sir. I'm sorry, sir. No, sir, you're right, sir." Just
yeah. I
Let's
think I
look
can
at-
explain it.
Okay.
I think it's a sex thing. I think Skullface has a frustration fetish. I think Jeff has a humiliation fetish. That's I think these are just a bunch of weird dudes having sex in the woods.
we know what Buck's thing is, but I can't say that.
That's true. They have been seeding it in the episode names.
Yeah.
So let's look at it from the Jigsaw's point of view. The man in the mirror, as Buck called him. What did we call him?
Table saw.
Table saw. Let's look at it from Table Saw's point of view. They have a problem they need to solve, which is they know that in this dark forest where the Ames team had been before, that they failed to catch the woman of the woods. They're like, we need that woman of the woods for some reason. We don't know what. Like, they've got their own reason they need her. So the way we're going to get them to do this is we're going to go to the best hunters in the world, the Ames team, and we're not even going to play coy with this. We are straight up going to give them the coordinates of you go here, and then we're going to leave them a note saying, hey, to find the woman of the woods in this tiny patch of land, find the blood skull. She'll be there.
She hangs out next to it.
Yeah, she's just standing,
next to it. Yeah.
So go there. Then 2 months pass without them noticing that note they left for them. Well, they're waiting the entire time, and I think everything else that came into the woods was Table Saw he summoned the predator and said, go tell them to find the blood skull. And the predator was like went to the shack where Huckleberry was and was like, hey, Huckleberry, I'm here. Table Saw sent me. Then Huckleberry just starts stabbing him. Like, I don't want to hear anything you got to say, Predator from the hit film Predator. The little girl who was constantly pointing at things, Table Saw sat her down and said, hey, this is my niece. Go to the freaking dark forest. These idiots are out there somewhere. Go find Buck and tell him, point him where the blood skull is.
They're where Renee got married. Go out to where Renee got married.
At this point, actually, don't tell. Just point. I don't know that they speak English. I can't verify. That might be the problem. It might be on me.
So these were all just increasingly desperate attempts to send messengers after them to say, please, please, go to this spot and grab this woman. And then finally, after 2 months, Buck finds her, goes to the spot, and then he runs away.
And doesn't take the blood skull.
Does not, well, more importantly, does not take the freaking woman of the woods. The thing, they destroyed Trapper's house to leave the coordinates in his safe just to make sure they got their attention to go out and do this thing. They left a note in a shack for Trapper to find. Trapper almost bled out because just walking there, his leg started bleeding. Listeners, if you've not listened to previous episodes, when we say that they found Trapper bleeding out in the shack, he was not wounded in a battle with a monster or the rogue team. He cut himself on his truck getting out and then almost died walking to where they left a gigantic message telling them what to go do. And he almost bled out. And then when the other guys came to find him, they were so incurious about what Trapper was doing there that they didn't even look at the walls.
Didn't look at the walls.
So after all of that, Buck finally encounters the woman of the woods. And the Sequad guy is sitting there in Buck's truck like, hey, I'm ready to, when you can plop her down in the bed, I'll drive it. I will drive it myself to our headquarters. I'm not even asking you to deliver her. I'll drive. I'm waiting. I've got your truck started. And then instead, Buck comes screaming back like, the woman of the woods is back there. It's like, yes, she was. 2 months ago, I told you exactly where to find her and told you to get her. Did you not bring anything? A net? Did you not look up how to subdue her?
You have a master trap builder. I assumed.
She literally starved to death. It's a dead body that used to be a woman of the woods.
It's been 2 months.
2 months.
I hired the best monster hunters in the world to capture her and bring her to me, and you come screaming toward the truck, and you're like, there's a man in my truck. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to... This would be like if you ordered DoorDash, and they came to your door, it's like, there's somebody in the house. It's like, yeah, it's me, the person who ordered the food. I'm I'm your boss. I'm the guy who hired you to do this. Remember?
Incredible. Renewed for 2 more seasons, huge budget increase. Deserved every penny of it.
Absolutely.
Oh, that poor goddamn, that's my favorite character, is the beleaguered puzzle
Yes.
master who just cannot
feel
catch a
sorry
fucking
for him.
break. The worst goddamn enemies to have a puzzle master. Like, you know what I would give? Not even for a Batman, for like a Hardy Boy. Just one Hardy Boy. I don't need both of them. I'm not greedy. Just like a kid who wants to know, like, if you'll go to the library. That's all I'm asking. All right, what a fantastic episode. It's time to end with our favorite quote. I'll go first this time. My favorite quote is from Huckleberry, and he's explaining like their plan after Jeff told them to go meet him and hide and like wait for him to show up. And he explains to the camera and to the boys. He says, "We have to haul ass and get to Willie's truck, and then we have to shag ass and get to the right of way." It's like how he's got 2 different types of ass for what they have to do next. First there's hauling ass, and then a whole different thing, shagging it.
I've never heard shag ass in this context.
Nope.
Not even like Austin Powers says that.
Yeah, even he would be like, "That's a little too lewd. Come on." Then he would drink a cup of poop.
Sean, what's yours?
That was going to be my backup, so I'm going to go back to my first one, even though we said it already, where Huckleberry says, "Trapper, we're up against some people that's ruthless sons of bitches, I'm telling you." And then Trapper goes, "You kidding me?" And already, I loved it, laughing so hard. And then Huckleberry goes, "They want Buck in the worst way." It's a very alluring quote.
Huh. All right, Jason.
Buck, when he finally arrives at the throne, the perfect, immaculate throne made of carefully woven out of grapevine in the middle of the forest, and looks down in the seat of it, and what, if it was a toilet, it's where you would have pooped into, but it doesn't matter. He looks down into the seat of it and sees a skull, the human-sized skull, totally covered in blood. It's just crimson, completely covered in blood, says, "I think that's the blood skull."
Because you have to be a Bigfoot, didn't you? You have to open up your mouth. You had to be a Bigfoot, didn't you? All your friends were so knocked out. You had to have the last word last night. You know what everything's about. You had to have the white hot spotlight. You had to be a Bigfoot last night. Whoa, whoa.